John Marsh house was built in 1856. It's quite unusual in its construction of stone. It also is on the National Register of Historic Places and Save America's Treasures. John Marsh was an adventurous pioneer in the early ages. He was an Indian agent. He came west in 1835 as a medical doctor. He bought a Mexican land grant of 50,000 acres and lived in a small adobe until about 20 years and built the stone house in 1856. He wrote letters and newspaper articles that started the migration west in 1841. He was also for the peaceful settlement of California instead of fighting to take it over. The John Marsh Historic Trust was founded in 1994 with its mission and its passion to save the house because it's in very vulnerable shape due to faulty construction, earthquakes, and neglect. So we must stabilize it before it caves in further.
John Marsh was a real, true pioneer, and I think that with all of his controversy and all of his spirit, he really represents what this area means to all of the East Bay.
He was a promoter of the peaceful settlement of California and the taking it over from the Mexican rule. So it teaches us the history and the culture of that entire period. When the park is open, it will be a wonderful opportunity to really learn firsthand the history of early California, study the culture of the ancient Indians as well as the Bay Miwok who lived on the property when John Marsh came here. The size of this new park is 3,600 acres and it's the largest of California's historic state parks. We have 70 miles of trails through it. We have camping, we have equestrian as well as biking and hiking opportunities, and a large environmental area for people to visit and learn about all the critters that live here as well as the endangered species and how it relates to Mount Diablo.
It would be a perfect area for field trips, for education, for picnicking, for hiking, for trails. We have this opportunity that sits right in our hands, and we really must put forth the effort so that we save our history, we preserve it.
What exactly do we have to do to restore this to the point where the public can come and enjoy the facility?
We have a lot of work to do. First of all, it is stabilized. You see these steel columns and cross bracing. That has taken the weight off of the fragile stone and brick surrounding walls. But what we must do is structurally stabilize the stone, drill holes and rods into them, and put in a steel stud framing system and tie the stone into that system.
That sounds like quite a bit of work.
It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be very costly. We need all of the monies that we can get.
The John Marsh Historic Trust is asking for your help to raise $5,000 to start emergency repair work on the north wall of the house. This money will allow us to brace the structure simply to prevent further damage. When you support the John Marsh Historic Trust, you'll receive our thanks and your choice of items that connect you to this valuable piece of history. 100% of your contribution will go to prevent further deterioration of the wall damaged by recent windstorms. Construction work is scheduled to shore up the first floor of the house. However, that work could all be undermined if the third story is collapsing while we're fixing the first floor. Cost estimates are well beyond funds available to do essential work. Donations in the $10,000 to $20,000 range can help tie and support fragile stone walls to a steel framing system on the second floor level. The Marsh House is a jewel and an important piece of California history. While the name John Marsh may not be well known, his contribution to California history is undeniable. Help us save his house for years to come. You and your family will receive the greatest reward when Marsh Creek State Park opens, and you can explore the history firsthand.